Final point, and then I would love to have maybe your thoughts, both of you, is Mr. Swagel in particular, you mentioned the low-income housing tax credit. Mm-hmm. As a Republican, I would argue if you look at all the housing policy that the federal government does, and unfortunately Mr. Camp doesn't have jurisdiction over all of it, we only have jurisdiction over some of it, whether it's at HUD, whether it's Section 8 housing, very familiar with both programs, or whether it's a low-income housing tax credit. As someone who tilts to the right from your testimony, why wouldn't we be encouraging public-private sector support? Maybe the amount's wrong, maybe the subsidy's wrong, but isn't it a good thing to get the public and private sector working together, which is exactly what the low-income housing tax credit does? It gets the best of both worlds. It has the federal government involved. It has the private sector involved. It has nonprofits involved. Mm-hmm. And in my community, I got to tell you, if you and I went to tour housing for low-income people in my community in Central Ohio, and you looked at HUD property, and you looked at Section 8 property, and you looked at low-income housing tax credit property, there's no comparison in terms of what is the best managed, the best utilized, the best housing for low-income individuals. And I take issue with the fact that we don't have low-income housing. I can give you a property in my district on Livingston Avenue that has homeless veterans transitioning in their lives in property, and they went literally from the streets into low-income housing tax credit property into the workforce. It's a fabulous, fabulous property.